So you are the Enlightened One's archetype. You are meant to go all the way this lifetime. You and your twin are meant to not only find union, but find enlightenment, self-realization, ascension. You are on a huge spiritual journey. So we're going to get into 3 ways to really ground down this energy, help you find union, and fulfill all that you've come here to fulfill during this lifetime, because it's big. Now, before we dive into the characteristics and the energy healing for your archetype, I wanted to quickly introduce myself and tell you about how I discovered that there are different twin flame archetypes. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rachel and I work as an intuitive energy healer. I'm a light worker. When I first started my energy work, I had no intention of working with twin flames. I was very quiet about my journey. It was something I knew about, but nothing that I set out to do. Well, as you know, the universe always guides you in the path that you're meant to go in. And twin flames started coming to me for healings, and now it makes up about 80% of my client base. So I take this very seriously because I know that if they were guided to me, I'm also guided to help all of you. And I started to observe the healing that helped different twin flames, like what helped the most, kind of experimenting with different modalities and observing through my intuitive reading sessions or my healing sessions, what I was really picking up on. And although there are commonalities in the collective, it is certainly not as cut and dry as a lot of information out there makes it seem. Every twin flame dynamic that I work with holds its own energy. I can feel that it's a twin flame energy, but I can feel there's different dynamics that are going on there. So, I just kind of sat back and I observed, the different things I was picking up on in all my different sessions. And I'm thinking to myself, like, there's something more going on here than what's being presented out by other teachers, and not saying any of them are wrong, but I just started picking up on something more individualized. So I went into a meditation and I got guidance that there are different twin flame archetypes. And based on your archetype, you have individual lessons, you have an individual purpose, and you have an individual reason why you incarnated in this twin flame dynamic. So whenever we look to general information, although it can be very helpful, especially in the beginning of our journey, it might lead some of us astray, or we might be focusing on something that really we're not meant to focus on. So for that reason, I put together this archetype mini lesson, and I'm going to go over the 3 main characteristics of your archetype, and then we'll end with a personalized energy healing session to really ground in this energy for you. Okay, so let's now get into the 3 main characteristics you want to embrace, or what you want to focus on. And by focusing on these, you find yourself closer to union. So, first, I want to mention that some of these might seem a little counterintuitive because you're not focusing on your twin flame, on union, like you're not only focusing on that. But that's a mistake many twin flames make. Our ego wants to only focus on this twin flame union, but that's not what your soul's agreed to, especially if you're this archetype. So know that part of your journey might be aligning with your soul while your ego chatters away and tells you that it's all wrong. So if anything I mention triggers you, you want to know what it's triggering, because most likely it's triggering the ego or an old pattern that's no longer serving you. And you'll understand what I'm talking about more as I get into these 3 main characteristics. So the first characteristic that you are going to want to embody to find union is stop trying to find union. And what I mean by that is twin flame resources are not going to serve you. Most of them just aren't. Unless it's very much an enlightened spiritual teaching. But what you are going to want to focus on is resources that help you understand who you are, help you understand divinity and this whole universe to the best of your ability. And when I say understand it, this is not understanding on a mental level, although, read books, watch videos that talk about different concepts of spirituality and enlightenment and the spiritual journey, but you're going to really want to experience these for yourself. So I see you doing things like astral projection, really going into deep meditations, finding samadhi, really diving deep into the energy, into the essence of your truest soul, of your twin's truest soul, understanding them on a soul level, and then transcending the ego. So you do this by having a greater vision than just the twin flame journey. Know that the twin flame journey is very important to your enlightenment. It may help you ascend it will help you ascend faster, not may. It's going to help you ascend faster in a variety of ways. But any aspects of your twin flame relationship, if you can view them as a part of your ascension or enlightenment journey, rather than focusing so heavily on trying to figure things out about the twin flame or even doing just direct twin flame healings, the more you can focus on truly healing your soul, really, like just embracing your truest essence, the quicker you're going to find union. The second thing that you're going to want to focus on and truly embrace and understand is the concept and the reality that everything you are viewing and seeing is all an illusion. It's not the truest reality. So if you are not already in a meditative practice, you are definitely going to want to start doing some sort of meditation, trying to do it every day, trying to do it as often as you can. Like I said, reading books, reading scriptures perhaps, reading even about quantum physics and parallel realities, whatever really, what you enjoy the most. Reading up about that and understanding it and trying to embrace it in your own life. So your twin flame journey, it's not you and your twin. You are going to be direct reflections of one another. So know what you see in your journey as a reflection of something within you. It's not the actions, it's not the circumstances. Those are all illusions. But any circumstance that happens, anytime that you're triggered, if you can, take a step back and say, I know that this is reflecting something back to me. What is it reflecting? The second that you learn that lesson is a healing part of your twin flame journey. So many twin flames come to me and they say, I want you to fix this and this and this and this in my counterpart. And that outward focus actually holds us back on this journey. And since you are meant to really transcend your ego this lifetime and ascend this lifetime, you are going to be given all of the triggers, all of the ego lessons, and you probably have already been experiencing this. But know that your healing takes place by understanding the triggers, understanding your defense mechanism, understanding what is true versus what is an illusion, what is a pattern, what is a habit, what is a reflection. And then the third piece that you are really here to embrace, a characteristic that if you start embracing it now is going to just, kickstart everything, is really going to rocket your healing, your ascension, and your union, is freedom. This is freedom from your ego. This is freedom from your defense mechanisms. Anything that makes you feel tied down. You're wanting to examine it because it is not the truth. I see you and your twin flame as these beautiful souls coming into one, experiencing this oneness. But not only are you going to experience this oneness with your twin flame, you are meant to experience the oneness of everything. This means that you're no longer going to be feeding into patterns of jealousy, patterns of lack, patterns of comparison, anger. Those are defense mechanisms. Those are of your ego. Those are illusions. They are not the truth. So you are meant to really foster this oneness. Anytime that your twin flame triggers you, and this is not to say that, this is not to place blame on anybody. Blame is an ego construct. So I'm speaking to you a little more spiritually, a little more esoterically than any of the other twin flame archetypes, because you have the capabilities to really understand these concepts on the deepest level. So anytime you feel blame, shame, either for yourself or for others, that's a construct of your ego, and it is not the truth. That is the ego's main mechanism for staying alive. That's the ego's main mechanism for keeping you stuck. So if you can come to a point, set the intention that you're not going to blame your twin flame for anything. You're not going to blame yourself for anything. You're not going to experience guilt. And this is an intention. This is not a you'll never have it again. What you do when you set this intention is you are able to easily recognize when these things come up. So when you start to get mad at your twin, whenever you have all these like blaming old patterns coming up, or when you feel guilty, when you feel not good enough, when those come up, you can now see them for what they are. And they will not add to your freedom. They take away from your freedom. Anything that makes you feel bad, this is a good trick. Anything that makes you feel bad means that your thought patterns are not in alignment with your highest self. So when you blame somebody, you feel negative emotions. And we often think that those negative emotions arise from what that other person is doing. But it's not. It's arising because what you are thinking about the situation is not what your enlightened self, your highest self, is thinking about the situation. So I know we got a little deep there, but this is the path that you have chosen. This is the path that your soul has chosen. And you can do this quickly if you, like I said, take everything as a lesson. And ask. That's how you're going to heal your twin flame relationship and find union. Ask what is meant to be healed by every situation, by every trigger. By releasing the blame and the shame and the guilt and knowing those are of the ego. And by finding oneness. As often as you can, feel who you truly are. And doing the self-inquiry meditation, just asking yourself, who am I? Going into meditation, who am I? Who am I? Until you get in touch with that part of yourself. It's going to be really helpful. And once you get in touch with that part of yourself, stay there and come back there as often as you can. And then ask yourself, who is my twin? And feel them. Ask it again and again and again until you feel their true essence, their soul, and then feel how you're both one. And then you can expand that. Once you find it with your twin flame, they're here to help you find it with them first. Once you find it with your twin flame, then you can find it with everybody. And that's how you experience true freedom. You are here to experience true joy, peace, unconditional love. Of all the archetypes, you are meant to literally have it all starting 100% from the inside. And so you may be triggered more than other archetypes because you are really inquisitive. You're really trying to figure out what is holding you back from this 100% freedom that your soul yearns for. And triggers and lessons are going to present themselves to you, but they do not have to make you suffer. Like I said, as soon as you learn the lesson, then the karma's done. You're done with it. So the more you can focus on that, like I said, even though your ego is going to say, no, don't do that. This is counterintuitive. I want to watch these card readings. I want to do this. I want to do that. Instead, know that's your ego and get in touch with your soul and know that your healing takes place by learning your lessons and pushing past the smokescreen of this illusion that you're seeing in your circumstance. And once you get to that point, you have a power over your energy, a power with your twin flame and all of this world, not a manipulative power, a true divine power to heal yourself, others, and to just be this healing essence by being you. Just by walking in a room, you're going to be able to raise people's vibrations. And that's what your soul and your twin flame soul wanted to do while they're here, and know that they're going through this in their own way. And the more you can find that oneness with them, when you heal something, you're healing something for them too. When you're healing it in yourself, when you're learning that lesson for yourself, you're healing them too. That's how you find that healing together. Now, doing energy healings and different kind of modalities could be very, very beneficial to you on your journey if you come from this perspective. Okay, so I didn't want to say like don't ever do healings, because I think energy healings are unlike anything else and really transforming and transcending a lot of karma at once. But you want to do it from this grounded, enlightened perspective rather than like the surface level, I don't want my twin flame to do this anymore because it irritates me, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's get now into an energy healing for you to really feel your true essence and feel your twin flame's true essence. And if you haven't done this before, this can be so powerful. And know that this is incredibly healing for both of you as you go through this. Okay, so just take some deep breaths. If you can, close your eyes. I'll be starting off with sacred Reiki symbols to help connect with both of your energies. So just call your twin flame in, call their energy in. We'll be getting this energy healing at the same time you are. So just connecting, I can feel the pureness of your souls and how ready you are. So you're wanting to quiet your mind, and to do this, you just allow the thoughts to pass without holding on to any particular one. And we first begin by asking yourself, who are you? And so just repeat this in your mind, who am I? And take a breath to feel who you are. And really begin to distinguish between what the ego tells you and what your soul is coming forth to say. I'll give you some time to really get in touch with your true essence by repeating, who am I? And waiting in silence for the answer. Bringing your attention to your spinal column, where all your power centers are, can also help allow this to happen more quickly. once you get in touch with your true energy, you almost feel like you're bathing in it. It's just surrounding you. You're embodying it. It's everywhere. It's all that you can feel. And now call your twin flame to your mind and ask, who are they? Continue to ask it until you feel or intuitively know the answer. And as your mind spouts out different triggers, different ego judgments of them, know that every time you don't listen, you're purging those from your being and you're healing your relationship. So just continue to ask, but who are they? And all the other stuff will just pass away, it will dissolve. Just feel who they are. Now feel your true essence and their true essence merging into one. You can imagine that you're giving them a hug, an embrace, you're cuddling. Your true soul and their true soul. Finding that oneness that you've forgotten. And know that you can stay merged. You can stay in this place. Always. That anything that says you cannot or tries to steal your focus is an illusion. It's not the truth. And just continue to breathe here. Sending both of you some grounding energy to really ground this in. Setting the intention that you're able to feel this more and more every single moment, every single day. Setting the intention that any lessons that need to be learned, if they can be learned in a way that causes the least amount of suffering. Setting the intention for the ego to dissolve, integrate, defense mechanisms to integrate, fall away, so that you can forever, in every single moment, live from this place of oneness. Just take a couple deep breaths in and out, wiping off both of your arc fields and mine as well. I'm going to disconnect from this energy session and know this is something you can listen to often, and this is something that you can do all of the time, no matter who you're around or where you are. The more you can practice this, the quicker you're going to find this enlightenment, and the quicker you're going to find this beautiful union with one another. If you want to take your twin flame journey to the next level, then I do offer a 45-minute energy clearing session. It's all video download that you can listen to as often as you want, and it was taken from all of my most powerful personal sessions and what has worked the most in working with the Twin Flame Collective, and I put it into one compact 45-minute session. It's probably the most powerful healing that I have ever done. So if you're interested in that, the link is below. And I'm sending you so much love and light on this beautiful journey.